Welcome to the Boat Dealer Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Selhorst, creator of the Splash System, founder of Boat Dealer Profits and Boat Dealer Profits Marketing Agency, where we're committed to helping family-owned boat dealerships sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. And today, we're going to talk about something that's going on in the industry. A lot of change in the industry. Just the other day, there was another announcement of yet another merger, another acquisition. This was Winnebago getting into the industry. So there's been all sorts of manufacturer consolidation, people snatching up brands, people kind of some shuffling around in the industry, which has been going on for a while now. But now we're on the back end of the recovery, and you've got people saying, hey, there's opportunity in the marine industry. There's opportunity because of a couple of different things that we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about what can you do about it. So changes in the marketplace, changes in the age demographic on both the consumer and the owners and the people involved in the industry, the fragmentation of the industry, and the change in technology. But not only are you seeing it on the OEM side, on the manufacturer side, but you're obviously seeing it on the dealership side too, with MarineMax making some big acquisitions this year, including my old dealership where I went from a no boat selling son of a gun to a top producer. They snatched that up. They snatched three of them, I think, this year, which totaled about, it was a dozen or more actual locations. They're also, OneWater continues to snatch up dealerships. A client of mine is on the acquisition path. They are not as aggressive and looking for good. They're looking for the perfect fit for them, but they've made several acquisitions in the last 12 months as well. You're seeing some small dealers kind of consolidate. I'm talking to dealers, and they're saying, we are looking to do this and kind of partner, not doing a big acquisition strategy, but doing some partnerships and consolidating resources. So you're seeing all this opportunity. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you a couple of things. There's a lot of private equity group money. There's a lot of investor money that is sitting out there looking to be utilized. And what the private equity groups do is they say, hey, where is there opportunity where there's some scale? We could bring some scale to the group. So a fragmented marketplace. Hey, we can come in, we can consolidate, instead of having a back office in each dealership, which may be the wife or one or two people that are in the family doing the books and doing the inventory, maybe doing financing, doing some marketing, doing all that back office stuff. And we can bring it all into one place, and we can do it better than the mom and pops can do it. Consolidation of facilities, consolidation of talent, of skill, of strategy, all of that stuff. They say, hey, we can consolidate, and there's some efficiencies that we can bring to the table. They look for industries that are ripe for change, that haven't kept up with the times as far as technology goes. And you know as well as I do that the industry, technologically speaking, has changed tremendously. I mean, just look at the outboards. Now your technicians, their toolbox has to consist of more than a wrench and a hammer and some screwdrivers. Now they have diagnostic equipment. The first thing you do on any of these new outboards, and heck, new in the last 10, 15 years, the first thing you're going to do is hook that thing up to the computer and look at codes. You're not even touching your actual tools until you do the codes if you're trying to diagnose an issue. You may even do it on a routine maintenance to see what's going on and check hours and check how the engine's been running, depending on how thorough of an inspection you do. But all of that stuff makes the industry ripe for people to come in from the outside And some of it is going to bring some good stuff, going to bring some new innovation, some certainly additional capital to the marketplace. But for you dealers out there, there's some challenges. Is what that means to you is, hey, you can't just sit back and do business the way you used to do it, because I'll tell you that with all that capital coming in into these different dealerships, into the OEMs, things are going to be changing. If you don't keep up, it's not going to be like, hey, we've got the relationship, we've been with this manufacturer for decades, and they're going to do us right. It's going to be, hey, if you're not able to keep up with us, we're going to have to move on and find somebody else. Or you've got Cabela's, and you've got Bass Pro Shop, and you've got those kind of consolidators as well that are bringing in the Tracker Boat Centers and expanding their marketplace there. Hey, there is a lot of money out there now competing in the marine industry for your customers, for revenue and profits that should be yours, because my belief is a lot of times it's that smaller local dealership, especially in the marine industry, that's going to do a better job for the clients, that's going to do a better job taking care of the clients than some of the bigger guys. Now, I'm not going to say all the bigger guys, because there are some players that really have their crap together, that they've got their shit dialed in, and they're kind of, if they come into your marketplace, you're going to be in a world of trouble if you're still trying to run with just a basic website, no digital marketing strategy. You don't have a database. You're not utilizing some sort of contact management system. And that goes to the next point. Not only is the marketplace changing in that respect, but with the age and the demographics of the owners in the industry, here's the thing: is there's only going to be a handful of dealerships that are going to be sought out to be acquired, and it's going to be the ones that have their systems and their processes dialed in, and that's going to allow those dealers, when they do make the exit, to exit for a higher price. Those that are handing it off to the next generation, hey, you've got the opportunity for that younger generation to come in and take advantage of the opportunity to say, hey, we're going to carve out this piece of the pie, and we're going to do it better than everybody else in our local marketplace. I don't care if it's a big box store, if it's one of the larger consolidated dealers that's kind of going on right now at the MarineMax and the One Waters, if it's one of them that comes into our marketplace, or if there's another dealer that starts doing it, because I can guarantee you that we'll see more and more of this throughout the next couple of years. So when you pass it on to the next generation, if you're anticipating that the way you've always done it is the way you're going to continue to do it, well, that next generation is going to have a serious issue on their hands, because it is just not going to work that way. And then the third option is you don't keep up with it, and when you get to the point where, hey, you either can't afford to stay in the industry any longer, or you're at the age where, hey, I can't keep up with it physically, the demands aren't there, you're going to walk away, and the dealership is going to sell for pennies on the dollar. I've seen a few dealers recently that are just liquidating assets, and they're getting pennies on the dollars on just the assets, let alone the value that they should have in their customer list and their customer relationships. But they're stepping away from the industry, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Having closed a business down because it wasn't succeeding financially back during the mortgage meltdown, I can tell you that that's a tough way to go out. Fortunately, I was in my early 30s, and I was able to to recover. But if this is happening and you're 60, 70, 80 years old, that's a tough way to go out. The good news is that right now, where things stand, even if there's one of these big guys coming into your marketplace, even if you're not top notch right now, there are some really simple and basic changes you can put in place to take advantage of the opportunities that lay out there. There's just so many dealers are hesitant to do it. So many dealers don't want to make the investment of time and effort and money that are required. But the good news is that people are spending money. The economy as a whole is doing extremely well, and most segments of the market have tremendous opportunity if you're willing to go out and take advantage of it. Now, the fragmentation, that's another opportunity that you have because the industry is so fragmented. You can take advantage of that segment of your local market, and it doesn't take a lot. It just takes some really smart changes for you to take advantage of that fragmentation. And then we talked about the changes in technology. So all of those things are leading up to the next 5 years in this industry to go through some significant change. A lot of capital come in, some new players coming in, some that new capital in the digital world that's out there today. It means that, and the way consumers are buying, the changes of just our consumers, all of that is snowballing. All of that is snowballing into something that if you're sitting back and saying this is how we've done it for 30 years, I think you're going to find out that the next 3 to 5 years are going to be extremely difficult and painful. So I encourage you to look for ways to take advantage of the changes. Don't be scared off. It's like when a Walmart comes to town. This is there's been books written about this. Walmart comes into town, and all the local shops just throw up their hands and say, well, we might as well close up shop. We can't compete with Walmart. The only thing people care about is prices. And they just, they shut their doors down before Walmart even gets done building their building. Now, on the flip side, there are some retailers that have that come about in their local marketplace, and their approach is Walmart's coming in. Hey, we've got a tremendous opportunity to step our game up. We know Walmart's going to compete on price, which means we are not going to be the price leader. We're going to compete on relationship. We're going to compete on service. We're going to compete on quality. And we can't just say that's how we're going to compete. We can't just say that's how we're going to compete against Walmart. We actually have to do some tangible things. We have to communicate it clearly, and we have to be rock solid in our relationship. And when they do that, what happens is they're able to outcompete and outprofit on the small scale, not outprofit Walmart as a company, but outprofit them in that niche with higher margins. And what's happened, and you can read about it in several books. I'll put them in the show notes. I don't have them with me. They're on my bookshelf. But what's happened is because they've said, hey, we're going to rise to this challenge, and we're going to really, all the things that we've done well, we're going to step up and we're going to do them even better. And it's not just going to be lip service. We're actually going to there's going to be tangible changes in the way we communicate, in the way we maintain and further relationships with our clients and our prospects and our customers. And we're gonna let them know when they do go to Walmart, they're gonna be so perturbed by the whole ordeal. My wife refuses to go to Walmart. That it is off the shopping list. There's just no going to Walmart. She just the service, the experience, everything about it turns her off. So it's those smaller local stores. It's the people that have really stepped up and said, hey, we don't care if Walmart comes to town. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it faster. We're going to do it more reliably. We're going to do it with better products. We're going to do it with a better relationship. We're going to do it with a better experience overall. And you really take that to heart. You can set yourself apart from all this consolidation that goes in, all of these people maybe with more money to invest, with a better MBAs behind them, which in my opinion, can be a negative that, they've never actually been in the trenches, nose to nose, toes to toes, selling products, working, selling boats, and understanding the psychology that goes on, so you can take advantage of that when you work on what your core values are. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I really think it's something that people need to be aware of. And if you're reading the trade journals, if you're reading my articles on boating industry and Soundings Trade Only, and listening to the reports that are coming out and paying attention to what's going on, you can see all this additional money coming in. And I just want to make sure that you're ready if it happens in your marketplace. You're ready if it happens with one of your OEMs and you start seeing some change on the wall, because I think it's going to be different than other times similar to this in the past. With the consumer changing, with the technology and the marketplace changing, I think this round of consolidation and this round of acquisitions is really going to make a big difference for you. And I want you to be ready. I want you to be ready to take advantage of it so you can hand it off to the next generation, and the next generation knocks it out and does better than the previous generation. If you decide that you want to make an exit and the next generation isn't going to be in the business and you want to exit and sell, I want you to get the top dollar because you've done the right things. You've built up the value in the dealership in the right ways. And I don't want to see you go out for pennies on the dollar or just shut the door and have to liquidate assets because that's the only value that's in the dealership. Because personally, having gone through that, I can tell you how painful it is, and I can tell you how just a punch in the gut it is, and I don't want that to happen to anybody else if they can avoid it. So that's it. This was kind of a little bit different episode. I didn't know how this was all gonna come off. Hopefully you found it interesting. You found it valuable. I will go back to. We've got a couple of guests scheduled. As a matter of fact, one of the guests we had to push back. And because I wanted to do this one because I felt it was timely right now. But look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. If you are interested, we've got some exciting new announcements coming out here around the 4th of July. You'll start hearing about them. You can go to, if you want a little bit of a sneak peek, you can go to successfulboatdealer.com. successfulboatdealer.com is the address. If you want to listen to the other 20-some podcasts out there, boatdealerprofits.com/podcast, boatdealerprofits.com/TV, as well as all of my boating industry articles, which are at boatdealerprofits.com/articles, and there's a bunch more in addition to the boating industry articles. So go check those out, and we will see you on the next podcast. Take care, everybody.